in deciding who is worthy or deserving of my love and who's deserving of my kindness, I had to go back to that higher faith and that higher belief again. If I believe that there's a bigger power and that everything's perfect, and I even step into the fact that I personally, Krista Key, I believe that the only truth that exists in the world, the only thing that's really real in this world is that love. That that's really what we're all made out of. That that's really the energy that makes the world go round is that love. Then for me, anytime that I see anything that it does not exhibit love, then I just buy it as, or I don't buy it. I don't accept it. I say, okay, that's just an illusion. Don't quite know why that illusion popped up, but I know it's not true. I'm only going to invest myself in what I know to be true, and what I know to be true is that all-encompassing love. So I'm going to get to that love because it's there every single time. I have not been given a situation yet in which I could not find at least a possibility of where the love is in the situation. And then once I can find the love in it, then I can just picture it in my mind that way, and then I just accept that to be true, and it keeps me at peace. It might not keep the other people around me at peace, but I'm not responsible for anybody else's happiness, just like nobody else is responsible for mine. So I can't give you peace. I can teach you tools in which you could discover your own peace, but I can't make you feel more peaceful unless you decide that you want to. So in understanding that we all have our own personal preferences of behaviors, I can stop taking things so personal as well. I can understand, oh, that person must just feel that that's a behavior that one should have, and it's not so much about me. It's really not that personal. And that's actually something else that happens a lot of times too, is that people will have like a negative experience. Like say you have a bad day at work. I know this happens a lot, like with my husband and I. I don't know what kind of day at work my husband had. I don't know what he's been through. I don't know where his mindset is. I don't know anything other than what he tells me. Now, say he had a bad day at work, or a rough drive home from the office, or whatever. Something just didn't sit right with him early in the day. Has nothing to do with me. And then I come, skipping into the room like, hey, baby, how was your day? How's everything going? And he's like, yeah, it's all right. I could take that as, why does he have an attitude with me? What does he have a problem with me? How come every time that I come through the door, skipping and happen, he's got to rain all over my parade? He's got to bring me down. He's got to do all these things to stop me from being so happy. When in truth, he is really happy to see me, but he is unaware that this energy left over from work was attached to what he said to me. So he's sending me words that he intends for me to have with an energy attached to it that wasn't meant for me. And if I'm not aware enough in that moment to realize, okay, that part's not for me, I'll just let you keep that part, then I could mistakenly take that in and take it personal and then decide that I'm going to give him back the same attitude that he was giving me. Well, if you're not going to be nice to me, I'm not going to be nice to you either. Instead of doing that, I have decided that no matter what people do to me, I am only going to make choices to respond back to them how I want to be treated. Because I can't choose how you decide to speak to me, but I can choose how I decide to respond to it. And I'm going to start taking full responsibility for my interactions so that I know that no matter what, I have done everything in my ability to just give love to other people and to just accept other people, because I believe that we get back in this world what we give. And just because someone's not ready to accept your gift and throws it back in your face, it doesn't mean that you should stop giving them gifts. If you want to write a love letter to someone every single day and they hit return to sender every single time, that does not mean that you stop writing those love letters. You keep writing them, you keep writing them, you keep sending them, you keep sending them. Because they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting the message. They're not ready for the message. But that does not mean that they're not deserving of the message. It does not mean that they're not worthy of it. It does not mean that that's a cue for you to start sending your love to somebody who makes you feel good whenever they receive it. You keep sending them that love. Because if they really didn't want it, they would relocate and you would not get their forwarding address. They would make sure that they are removed from your life. And when that happens, then you just send them love from afar. You just think love and thoughts. just send them where you're at. You don't hold a grudge. You don't hold the bitterness, because all that does is poison you. It was making me toxic, thinking that all these things that other people were doing were all about me. Besides the fact that that's like the most arrogant, self-serving way that you could ever, not even self-serving, what's the word? Arrogant, selfish kind of way that you can view the world. At least I feel that way for myself. I feel that that's the most arrogant way that I can view the world, to think that each of you cares so much and is so concerned about me that you're thinking about me 24 hours a day and plotting against me, or, you know, those kind of things is really ridiculous. Because if you think about it, if we are worried about what everybody else is thinking about us, what do you think everybody else is thinking about? They're thinking about everybody thinking about them. You're thinking it, you're thinking, I'm thinking, this is how we operate. So if you can just be the one that's aware that this is how the other people work, then you can be the one to stop that cycle. We really have an epidemic in our society of he did it to me first. He did it to me first, so I did it back. That is just hatred breeding hatred. It's negativity breeding negativity. That you did to me, so I'm doing it back. First of all, you're not taking responsibility for your own actions. But it's like one of the most like childish kind of things that we can do. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo. What I did, I switched gears. Instead of giving out what was given to me, I was going to seek to only give that I want to receive in return. Does it mean that it happens every single interaction? Absolutely not. Why? Because I've been doing this for about a year. And I've been on this planet for 32 years. I can do it in my new relationships with people, but it's the ones that have been going on for 5, 10, 15 years that I haven't reconditioned myself to do this as an automatic response. But I'm working on that. And the more that I work on it, the more that I apply it, the more that I do this, the better results I get. The more kindness I get in return. So I practice with the new people that I meet. I practice to only have this side be not, don't get me wrong, I don't only show this side and keep the other side hidden, because if that was true, I wouldn't even be telling you guys right now the fact that that other side still exists. But I make a point to, in each of my new relationships, to only invest that, only make the kind of investments that I want in return. So regardless of how somebody looks at me or speaks to me or treats me, initially I might have a little, what? You know, kind of pop up. Y'all get that too? That little, what? What was she thinking? Where did that come from? That made no sense at all. If it causes confusion up here, if it doesn't make sense, I don't believe it. I might, for that very first little split second, want to, but then I get back to reality, because my happiness and my peace of mind means more to me than being right.